Well, there we are. How'd that happen? What is good, everybody? My name is Mark Wallace, and welcome. Yeah, because you're going to see it. Me and Robbie are right here. Weekday Wagers. It is Tuesday afternoon, and you know what? It kind of feels like we're already off the rails. So let's not talk about what we have coming up because we have a full slate of hockey. I believe there's 10 games. Outrageous. We had one yesterday, 10 today. It feels like you're going from 0 to 100 overnight. But talking about overnight, here's what happened last night. The Lakers let everybody down, including themselves and especially DG. The Syracuse UConn game went over 142, actually just barely over 142. 143 points is what they finished with last night. So it's a check mark. I'll take it. You already saw him. We know who's coming up. We can't talk about all this hockey without talking to Mr. Robbie Hockey. Robbie, how you doing today, buddy?
Hey, doing good, Mark. Yeah, one game, and it was an absolute snooze fest. The New York Rangers had less shots on goal the entire game than we have hockey games tonight with 9 shots on goal. We actually have 15 hockey games tonight. 15. Absolute insanity.
There's 15 games tonight?
There's 15 games tonight.
Well, I thought there was only 10. Wow. Okay. It has been, I'm running on very little sleep for the last few days. It's been a busy around the JustStatsSports.com platform. The book is doing fantastic. And so out promoting the book and getting that done, it just, everything starts to whirlwind on me. We do have a ton of hockey, and there is a lot of games with implications tonight. Let's talk a little bit about that because this is a weird time of year. You and I have talked about this before, is you get those teams who are super motivated to play versus teams that are like, we're out for a little cardio. We're chalking up the days to finish the season. It is what it is. Our eyes are on our vacation and next season, obviously. How do you go into this time of year from a handicapping standpoint?
For me, for player props, it's value. Like if you look at just the stat sports lately, you're seeing a lot of plus 130, plus 140 plays because it's guys who are getting their chance to shine for their certain teams. Like Chicago tonight has a great opportunity for some guys to shine. Anton Frundell makes his debut tonight. He's got a lot of friends and family there. And you have some odds discrepancy, so definitely check your books. FanDuel had his opening prop at minus 150. I grabbed it at plus 115 at Hard Rock. And I mean, at the same time, there was I was just looking around for it. So you got to just find value. Like last night, I should have just known that game was going to go under. Ottawa was going to do what they needed to do to escape with a win because they had their eyes on that game tonight with Detroit, which has a lot more meaning to it than that game last night.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up because let's talk a little bit about that. The set of Ottawa's going into Detroit to play Detroit. This is a huge game for both teams as far as playoff implications are concerned. I know I have a play on this game at Just a Stat Sports. I'm actually on the under here. I think that this is going to be a very tight-gripped defensive battle, especially if you like unders. Boy, it's the first period under 1.5. The game total at 6.5. I'm on the under on that as well. How do you go into a game like this then?
For player props, it's hard. It feels like it's an NHL playoff game where you've really got to dig and got to look around. It's hard. I would think Ottawa would get back on track with their normal guys like that we thought would get on track last night. Batherson, Kachuk, Stützle, guys like that you could try to target for point props. Dylan Larkin, I think he's a game time decision, so he could be back for Detroit tonight, which they really need him. When I was digging into it, Patrick Kane has a really good history against Ottawa. So you may even check out his player props. But it's just finding guys with good history at this point. These two teams know each other well. It seems like every year towards this time of the year, they're both fighting for that last wild card spot. And once again, they're fighting again tonight. I think it's a 26% swing for the team that wins this game tonight compared to the team that loses.
So, yeah, a great point because if the Senators win this game, their chances of making the playoffs, just to get into the playoffs, sits at just under 74%. If they lose in regulation to the Red Wings, those chances drop all the way down to 47.7%. And on the other side of this, Detroit, if they win, their chances of making the playoffs, it's just under 69%. If they lose, drops all the way down to 40. So this is one of those games where it is absolutely paramount. And I think that we see a lot tighter hockey being played than we would normally see between these two. Would you agree?
Oh, totally agreed. And Ottawa has been really good as of late as well. I think even since the Olympic break, they've really kind of tightened things up. Not many people are getting a ton of shots on them right now. Allmark looks much better than he did when he had his issues going on this season. And James Reimer played last night, so you're going to get Allmark again tonight. So Ottawa's sneaky good, but it's just I don't get them. They have the firepower. Like, they have a lot of guys on their first two lines, and it just seems like they're another team kind of just stuck in the mud at times.
So let me shift gears then, because we have a game on the other end of that spectrum in the LA Kings and Calgary Flames, where the Kings, if they win this game tonight, they're still sitting just outside of the playoffs at a 50-50 chance to make the playoffs. This is a meaningless game for the Flames. And this is one of those ones I was talking about, right? I mean, these guys have already chalked it up. They're done. They have zero chance. They could win outright for the rest of the season. They're still not making the playoffs. In fact, they are now in the win the draft lottery race for not winning. So now you get this is the NBA's version of tanking on ice.
Correct. Yes. And the Kings, I haven't looked at their schedule, but they have the Flames tonight. And I think their schedule, even finishing out the year, is not that bad, which really benefits them because you have Nashville 2 points ahead of you in that second wild card spot. But you even look in that division, I mean, Edmonton has not done well. Vegas has not done well. So the opportunity's there. It's just, can the Kings keep up? DJ Smith has implemented more of an up-tempo offense. So their offense has gotten better. But now that their offense has got better, defensively, they've slacked off a little bit. So they got to try to find an even balance there.
Yeah, and Joe brings up a quick question, right? How close are we to the end of this hockey season? There's 82 games in the hockey season, so I know that some teams, we literally have, I want to say, is it 2.5, 3 weeks left?
April, the week of like April 14th or 15th, one of those 2 days. I only know because of fantasy hockey. We're in our fantasy playoffs, so
gotcha.
But I think it's April 14th or 15th.
Look at Joe. Always, I love when he does this. Mark looks like he'd come up to the counter and ask me to put it and say hockey during March Madness, leave $1 and say thank you for your time. No, I wouldn't. I'm more of a March Madness guy. It's this time of year, everything else kind of loses focus, but I appreciate
would be
it.
Me, actually.
That would be Robbie, if anybody. Let's get into you've got the Carolinas facing Montreal tonight.
Yeah.
This is a huge game. This is a bigger game for Montreal than it is for Carolina. Carolina's in the playoffs. They're doing what they do. It's a big game in sense for Montreal because they're trying to get that number 2, they're trying to stay in the number 2 position, I believe, is where they're at if everything ended today.
Yeah.
This is different. See, because I run into this challenge, and I don't know if you're the same way. I run into this. I see a team that's already made the playoffs almost as bad as a team that has zero shot of making the playoffs because you don't know who's going to be playing. You don't know who they're going to be sitting, to try to get healthy for that playoff run, etc. Any advice on a game like this?
Yeah, and I love Montreal props because Montreal has been really great offensively. Where they struggle is defensively. But Cole Caulfield, minus Nathan McKinnon when it comes to goals being scored, he's right up there with Nathan McKinnon this year. He has 43 goals. I know Nick Suzuki plays really well against Carolina. And the Carolina goaltenders are also Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. It's Freddie Anderson. Right now, he's been playing great as of late, but we know he's due for a letdown game. With this high-powered Montreal offense, I could see him getting blown up tonight by the Caulfield-Suzuki line. I
thought Brandon Bussi was in goal for the Hurricanes tonight.
I thought I saw it was Freddie, but I could be wrong. I try to check daily faceoff throughout the day. I feel like they said it was going to be Freddie tonight. Either way, that's the other one, Bussi, who had a great start to the year, but it seemed like after the Olympic break, he's yet to find his footing again. Yeah. So he's not even really playing super well right now. So that's a tricky one. And you know how I don't like betting Carolina props to begin with. Those
just to start out with.
Yeah. Those guys always seem to let me down. But I do like Montreal in the spot. It's at the Bell Center, where I've never been to the Bell Center, but they say that place is absolutely insane, especially if Montreal is good and in the playoffs. So it's going to be a raucous crowd there tonight too.
Should be it's that playoff atmosphere already starting to build, and there is nothing better than playoff hockey, and I will die on that hill. Any other games that you think are really important to be watching, especially tonight for those playoff implications?
Yeah, for sure. Nashville and San Jose is a huge game tonight. Of course, I have personal reasons for that game. Nashville's won 4 straight. We've looked good, but you got to look at who we've played. Winnipeg, Chicago, Seattle, that was 3 of the 4 wins. You beat Vegas at home, but you got Vegas coming from Vegas at 11 a.m. on a Saturday. How motivated were they in that game? And then San Jose has lost 4 straight. And you got to figure if they're going to have any chance, their guys are going to have to step up. Tonight feels like a letdown night for the Preds. It just feels like that. All right, we're in the playoffs. We're feeling good. This feels like that inevitable slap in the face that we're about to get tonight.
Well, I do know that I do like to see – I like a lot of goals. And I think your Preds don't have to worry about a letdown. I think they go off offensively, to be honest. Yaroslav Oskarov will be in goal, and he's making his first return tonight after being out for 2.5 weeks with a lower body injury. Coming into this, he allowed a ton of goals. He had a sub 80% save percentage, and I think at like a 3.89 goal against average going into the injury. So he wasn't doing very well to begin with. I think the Preds can absolutely light him up.
Well, and there's that revenge factor. Nashville is the team that drafted him and then eventually sent him to San Jose because they said he was kind of a head case. That was one of the main reasons why they thought he was too immature to be a starting goalie. So you got to think, does that factor in? Does he play better because of that? Or does Nashville, shove one up his crease tonight?
Or does Nashville prove their point? How's that?
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's a good game, and I think that if you're looking for high scoring, Nashville has a lot of younger talent defensively right now. We've sold off most pieces. Yossi is still there, and then San Jose on the other side is ranked 31st overall defensively. So there's should not be a ton of defense played in that one tonight.
Now I do have. Let's shift gears real quick because we are on the eve of Major League Baseball kicking off the regular season. And I got to get your opinion on this one because it seems a little weird, right? It's happening on Netflix. Right? The opening game is on Netflix. It's happening at night. And I believe I saw Madam Presidente, Miss Kim, put on Twitter how this is the Reds should be playing opening day, and they're not. The 4th game now until they're being played Thursday in the 4th game slot.
Yeah.
How do you feel about opening day starting on Netflix? I think that's my biggest issue.
I don't think Netflix is as much of the issue as it's at night. I picture opening day being during the day. It's that wise old tale where you take off work. I'm sick today, and then you're on the jumbotron at the Cubs games. That's why I don't. That's my biggest gripe. It needs to have something during the day. If you want to make that the premier game, opening day, opening night, whatever, that's fine. But I feel like you've got to have something in that time slot during the day.
It's tough to wrap my head around opening day, but having to wait until 8:00 at night for the first pitch. You know what I mean? It's like
right.
We missed the entire premise of this. And there is nothing better than day baseball. It is a great way to get me through my days. I'm not a big fan, actually. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of this rollout of the Major League Baseball season. I think that they should have had the entire full slate running from 1:00 Eastern time all the way through to the West Coast until you finish up and you've got every team that has played and they're participating in the opening day activities. I think that for me has always been the way to kick off a Major League Baseball season.
I totally agree. And if you're looking for home run props, don't look my way tomorrow because they're going to be in the Bay. It's cold right now. Those balls are heavy. if you're betting home run props, Godspeed, good luck. But yeah, and it's the Giants and the Yankees. Like, I don't know. There's just not any tradition there with either one of those teams. I don't know. I wish it had been during the day. It feels like I get what they're doing, right? MLB's trying to find out new ways, try to revamp their image, I guess. And I just think they're going to miss the mark on this.
Yeah, me too. I'm going through these chats. Our friend Preston from JustStatSports.com, affectionately known as Boom Boom, has already got an MLB future up. He's got the A's, the Cubs, the Royals, the Yankees, and the Mariners to make the playoffs at plus 2,800 over at MGM. Your thoughts on this?
It's too long to wait for a cash ticket. I never bet futures.
You know what? I couldn't agree with you more. I find the futures market interesting. For me, looking at that open ticket all season, it's infuriating. So I don't do it. And yeah, I know the whole argument. You open up another book if I'm going to open another book, I'm going to make all the plays I'm doing. It's just, no, I can't do it.
I've already maxed out all of my promotional services for books that I can play on in Tennessee. So there's no opening book promotion for me anymore.
There's that. Joe does have a good question.
Okay.
He's actually very curious. Have you guys ever bet and received a paper ticket at a man sports book or only online? That's a great question. Because, well, let me start with you. Online only, or have you also received the paper tickets?
Never. I've only been to a casino twice in my life. One time I didn't even gamble. I just went and drank while everybody else gambled. The other time I took $100 and lost it within about 20 minutes. And I said, this isn't for me. But they didn't have sports betting where I was at. It was somewhere in Illinois. But no, I've never actually went to a sports book and received a paper ticket.
Interesting. I have received a paper ticket, and it is a whole nother language because you're calling it, you do the, and Joe, I'm sure Joe's going to correct me if I'm wrong, but you got to have the number of the game and then what the play is. And it gets easier the more you do it. But for me, it's so awkward. It's like, let me just go online. True story. When we were just out in Vegas, I was sitting in the sports book, and it was just easier for me to make the bets on my phone where I didn't have to worry about sounding like a moron or an idiot, go up and place a bet. I could silently be an idiot in my chair, and that was just fine. So there's a language to it. There's a finesse to it. There's a bit of a romantic side to sports betting through that, and being able to navigate that. I've always found that very interesting. So, yeah.
Joe, I see you in the chat. Yeah, I will try to save myself for you. You'll be my first that I place a sports ticket with. Since Mark says he's going to make it romantic, I'll try to make you my first that I do a paper ticket with.
Oh, see, this is good news. He'll even let you bet without the number. So,
hey, there we go.
I'm telling you, dude, it's intimidating because you're looking at this huge board. And what a great segue into seeing the board. The title of my book, by the way, Amazon.com. Amazon, go get it. 99% of the proceeds go to veterans. If you like a veteran cause, this is the one they get behind. Go get the book. You're going to
need to start doing a Seabass spot. Like maybe for Light the Lamp Daily Dinger, we have to do the Seeing the Board spot before we get to that segment.
The Light the Lamp is brought to you by Seeing the Board?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I like it. I think
we got something there. Yeah.
We got to get DG to do some music and some graphics for that. Speaking of which, DG's in the chat. If you have any questions for him, make sure you drop them in there. He'll answer them in real time. But he'd rather give his kid $5 for ice cream than do a baseball future. Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree. Let's see here. Anything else we got? No, I think we're going. You know what? We haven't got to. Speaking of our good friend.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's gonna turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't-miss cover every night. With Bassett's blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
Yeah, we're going to that Nashville San Jose game tonight, and I'm going to take Macklin Celebrini, and I'm doing a shot on goal prop. No, you're not seeing things. I'm taking a shot on goal prop. I'm taking him for over 3.5 at -122. Look, this is a great matchup on paper for Macklin. Nashville, terrible against the center position. They're 4th in the NHL in allowing shots on goal to the center position, allowing around 11 a game to that spot. Celebrini, this is his team. He's going to take the team by the reins, and he's going to take them to this playoff hunt. If he want to get into the playoffs, it starts with Macklin Celebrini. I love this spot for him tonight to get 4 shots on goal. Again, Nashville have a lot of rookies, a lot of young guys on the defensive side. Their penalty kill, not that great. This game has over written all over it, and I think Macklin Celebrini has a get-right game tonight. He did have 6 shots on goal in his last matchup that he just played, but he's going to keep contributing. Got to have to keep contributing. The shot attempts are there. It's just trying to get them on goal, and for Macklin and the Sharks, go in. For myself, for the Preds fans, maybe want to go in, and he has at least 4 shots on goal, and I'll cash the tickets.
I like it. I am staying on the ice as well. There's just too much happening on the ice to not have a good bet there. So I'm taking the Edmonton Oilers team total under 3.5 goals. You can get that at -105. Edmonton is still adjusting to life without Draisaitl, and it is showing immediately. They've scored just 2 total goals over their last 2 games, and now they go on the road for the first time without him. This offense runs through him more than people realize. And right now, everything looks just like it's a little step off. There's less flow, fewer clean looks, and not nearly the same finishing ability. You're not getting that explosive Oilers attack. You're getting a group trying to piece it together in real time. And now they walk into Utah. And this isn't a get-right spot at all. The Mammoth have been strong at home. They're 19-12-3. They play a tight defensive game that limits chances. They've allowed just 26 shots per game. They're top 5 in the league. Vejmelka has been steady behind that structure. And when you combine it with Utah's recent form of 4+ goals in 3 of their last 4, this sets up as a game where Utah controls pace and forces Edmonton into a tougher game script. Instead of asking Edmonton to suddenly bounce back offensively, we're going to take the fact that that's not going to happen tonight. They're not scoring, and this is the matchup that changes it. It just won't happen that way. Take the Edmonton Oilers team total under 3.5. How do you like that?
Well done.
Okay.
Well done.
By the way, I wanted to add, so 2 things, actually. One, for those of you who subscribe to juststatsports.com, I had a play for the Washington Capitals and St. Louis Blues. I took it down immediately when I saw that the Capitals had a goalie change. The play on it. So if you have a chance to cash out, if you place that first period under on the Blues, cash out of it, because Charlie Lindgren is not Logan Thompson, and I cashed mine out immediately. So there's that.
Yes. Charlie Lindgren is one of the top 10 worst goalies in the league right now. You definitely don't want any unders when that guy's in the crease. Speaking of plays at Just the Stat Sports, I do have a free play up on Anthony Cirelli. I put that play up with the odds that I took yesterday afternoon. They were -110 for him to get a point. But our buddy Z Quishy in the chat that we're in said that it's +100 at FanDuel. I instantly cashed out at Hard Rock. Got my full cash out, by the way, at Hard Rock, and then played it at +100 at FanDuel. So that prop on the site, it's at +100 now at FanDuel. Or at least it was about 9 this morning.
I do have a question that just came in. An under? Am I insane? Let me tell you something. Logan Thompson. For all of you who are afraid of first period, specifically first period team unders, 1, it's plus money, always plus money. But 2, Logan Thompson has allowed a first period goal in just 1 of his last 11 starts. Dude is a brick wall in the first 20 minutes. The Caps play great defense for that first period. They're one of the lowest. They have the lowest percentage of going over 1.5 goals, whether that's at home or on the road. So yes, I am absolutely always open to taking an under.
Do the Blues not make you a little nervous, though, with how well that top line's been playing? That's my only reasoning why it would make me nervous. Holloway, Thomas, and Snuggerud have been on a tear as of late.
Yes and no. Because I think that the Caps, by putting Lindgren in this game, is telling you that Washington isn't viewing this as an important game to begin with, right?
Yeah.
If it was important for them, Logan Thompson would be between the pipes, shutting everything down. This team plays very different with Thompson in goal than it does with Charlie Lindgren. So yeah, that's why I'm not playing it now.
That's right. Yeah.
With Logan Thompson, absolutely. I'll put him up. He's Colorado, check, scoreless. Edmonton, scoreless. He's gone up against some offensive just juggernauts and shut them down.
Sure.
And we got another question. Will I have any NRFI plays this year? Come on, man. Come on.
It's not a dirty word on this show. I just don't play them. Because it gives you bad synergy if I play them. We've already figured that out. I'll just stay in my lane.
No, right now I'm talking to you, DG. Come on. Really?
What have you seen? Did you see a second question? Yeah. Of course.
Of course. You know, we're gonna have to have. He'll be our first person that we have to block from the chat. And he's on the show. This is exactly, Kim. Thank you so much. It's like asking the Pope if he's Catholic. Come on.
Yeah.
And yes, to Nate's point, Thompson has been playing out of his mind since he got traded to Washington. So Logan Thompson, there's a handful of goalies right now that I will target. Thompson being one of them. Little bonus, Darcy Kumper from the Kings. He's starting to find his form again. He started out the season as a beast, an automatic under. He's starting to get back to that shape again. So I'm not really sure what's happening with him as far as what he's looking at for his future. But yes, absolutely. And Sky Too High wants to know, is Mr. Predicto going to be picking home runs this season? I'll tell you what, not if he's as hungover as he was yesterday. He's dude. First of all, he was pissed that I think we were asking him with just one game on the slate. I think that was part of the problem. But yeah, he sounded a little salty yesterday.
He knew yesterday was not a good day to bet goal props. That's why he didn't even. That's why his first answer was just no.
And what was it? The score was like 2-1, right?
2-1.
Yeah.
Guys, yeah. Shane Pinto is a goal scorer last night, and Connor Sheary. So that should tell you.
So I think that tells us more about Mr. Predicto than him picking a winner, actually. When he comes out and just like, no, and is disgusted like that.
Leave it alone.
Hammer the under. There's not anything going on there. Speaking of light the lamp, that's the playoffs. We'll get to that in a second because I want to go over that one more time if they stop today. But on our light the lamp for today, we've got David Pasternak, Mr. Pasta at plus 119. Wyatt Johnston, I believe he's American, at plus 150. Macklin Celebrini, plus 150. Kirill the Thrill, Capri Sun, at plus 165. And Philippe Forsberg at plus 175.
No.
Robbie, who do you like on this list, or are you going off the board?
You can call him Mr. February because he always dominates in February. You can call him Scoresborg, but never call him that again. I'm going off the board, Mark, and I'm going with a guy who has never scored an NHL goal in his life. That's right. I am taking Anton Frondell of the Chicago Blackhawks tonight at plus 320, making his career start on the same line with Connor Bedard and Ryan Green. They're not starting Ilya Sorokin for the Islanders. You're going to get Rittich in there. I think that's getting David Rittich in there tonight. He has a lot of family and a lot of friends at that game tonight. Yeah, give me the rookie. Because, look, Cole Hudson started his first game last week. What's he do? Scores a goal. They've already set this guy's odds at plus 320. I feel like the books know what's going to happen tonight.
Wow. I'm going to ask your initial impression on this list. I see where you're going with that one.
Yeah.
If well, let me ask you, is there anybody on this list that you're like, I don't really feel good about that guy?
Kaprizov, because I don't know how healthy he is. That's the only reason. And it's Tampa Bay. I don't know if they've come out and said if Kaprizov is playing or not, which I need to check because he's on my fantasy team, so I need to actually double check that.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Because I'm
everybody
going
else.
Kirill.
Man. Everybody else, but you know how I'm with Dallas Stars players, so.
Well, listen, Kirill. First of all, everybody on this list right here has a better than 55% head-to-head in their matchups. These guys love the teams that they're facing tonight. They go off, all five. When I was putting this list together, I was like, this could be one of those give me the full parlay type nights.
Yeah.
Kaprizov, I like because he's 87% in the 11 games he's played against Tampa. 87%.
Yep.
And now I find out he might be hurt. I hope
he hasn't played. He hasn't played the last two games, and I haven't gotten the notification from the ESPN Fantasy app that he's back in the lineup yet. So I honestly I don't know. But if you're wanting to stay on this list, David Pastrnak, I even put that play up. That is a full unit plus money play that I would be fine playing. Is David Pastrnak against the Toronto Maple Leafs? Against Toronto, in his last 4 games, he has 7 goals with a goal in all 4 of those games. Even his recent success, he has 4 goals in his last 4 games as well. Pasternak's where I would probably go off this list if I had to pick on the list.
All right. Then that's my backup choice.
There you go.
I'm going with pasta. If I can't have a Capri Sun, give me some pasta. That's what we'll do. While we're here, let's take a look at this thing. Because if the hockey playoffs started today, this would be the matchup. You got the Ducks taking on the Mammoth. Golden Knights would be taking on Edmonton Avalanche versus your Preds. The Stars, the Stars would be facing the Wild in a round 1. Buffalo against Boston, Tampa Bay against Montreal, Carolina against the Islanders, and the Penguins would be taking on the Blue Jackets. Anything jump off of this as, damn, wasn't expecting to see that.
Yeah, my Preds. All those look like elite teams, and then there's my Preds sitting there drunkenly stumbling into the playoff picture. I don't know how Nashville, honest to God, I don't know how Nashville is in that second wild card spot right now. I really don't. But all those matchups look pretty damn good on paper. And then you would get Anaheim or Utah making it to the second round. 2 teams that were nowhere near this last year.
Right.
Vegas and Edmonton, that's just a yearly tradition, just kind of like Dallas and the Wild. It seems like they are always in the same spot as well. The East is very interesting because you see Tampa and Montreal. That seems like it would be a ton of goals scored in that series. Yeah. Then you look at Carolina and New York, and that seems like there would be hardly any goals scored in that series. So it's a good mix right now.
Yeah, and I think when I look at this list, especially in the East, what jumps out? No Florida Panthers. No New York Rangers. And so I think that's what's most startling. And I think you look at that West lineup, and it really is going through Death Valley, right? Dallas and Minnesota for a first round matchup is insane. You got 2 of the best teams in the West playing each other in the first round, knocking each other out.
Yeah. It should be Dallas versus Utah, and probably the others are kind of whatever. Probably should be Minnesota versus Anaheim at that point.
Yep.
But it's not. And spoiler alert, the Ducks win. Probably. I don't know. I think that would be a 7-game series between the Ducks and the Mammoth.
And Joe says if the Ducks win, DG should star in Mighty Ducks 4. Good God. Yeah. He'd be the goalie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Joe did ask a question earlier. Who do you think wins the whole thing? And you know what? I want to ask you who wins the whole thing. Who makes it from the West? Who makes it from the East?
I'm sticking with Colorado. I just think they have too much talent offensively, and I feel like it'll all get to working. They also have a good defense as well. It's them or Dallas, but I'm going to take Colorado in the West.
Who would you take in the East?
That's the tricky one. That is so tough. Because you just have this lingering feeling that Buffalo is going to somehow become Buffalo again. It's always still in the back of my head. I know they haven't yet, but it just feels like the wheels could fall off just because of how their history is, right? Yeah, give me Buffalo. Screw it. Let's have some fun. Give me Buffalo.
And you know, it's great. I absolutely agree with you on the Buffalo side. When I look at that East Coast setup right now, Buffalo has beaten every single one of these teams recently and has done fairly well. So I like Buffalo's chances against all of them. It's the West that is the most confusing. And I think it really depends to see who can come out of that Dallas Stars Minnesota Wild series healthy.
Yes.
I think that's the key piece. And how well Colorado does when they get the
Landeskog. Landeskog's back. He came back the other day. He's back. Lankinen is the other missing piece.
That's the one I was thinking of. With Landeskog, getting him back into everyday type game shape and playing and getting that timing back down is going to be huge.
Yeah.
But can they do it in time to really make that push and get back to being that offensive just explosion?
I think they can. Even in their last couple of games, you're seeing that Brock Nelson line finally start to get back to form as well. Because, it was dominant up into the Olympics, and then it kind of tapered off as well. But now that they've clinched a playoff spot, you're starting to see that line get better. I know they're putting Kadri back at the center position, so he's playing a position he should be playing in as well. So they do have time now to switch some things up, switch some lines up, and really start playing with this team until it actually becomes playoff time. And let's face it, if they're facing Nashville in the first round, I mean, hey, we beat them once this year, so I can't hang my hat on that. But in a 7-game series, Colorado wins probably 6 out of 7.
Right. No, I hear you. Yeah, and that's really what that boils down to. Right? That's why they play that series. It's not a one and done. Listen, couple of comments. We have Boom Boom who put he's playing Giants first 5 money line at plus 100 tomorrow. I saw that and it served as a great reminder. I have and this is on me. So I owe everybody a huge apology. I posted a MLB model on our Weekday Wagers page on how to build a first 5 model and build it out. What I discovered happened after we posted it was that there was no audio to it. So it made you're just looking at a quiet screen and it makes, first of all, this crap is hard enough to figure out when someone is talking you through it, let alone just staring at not a blank screen, but a quiet screen. And feels like you're watching a silent movie all over again. We have got that fixed. I will post that this afternoon. If you have any interest in building out a MLB model that you can use, obviously in conjunction with the models over at juststatsports.com. Always double check your work over there. But that will be up for those of you who are interested in that kind of a market. I know Seabass has been hitting me up. In fact, he was one of the first ones who saw it and told me that, hey, there's no audio to this thing. So, yeah, I know he's been hammering me to get it up, and it will be posted up on Weekday Wagers this afternoon. So keep those notifications on. Rob, we're at 40 minutes, man. Let's get the hell out of here. Are you watching any basketball tonight? Any at all?
Lord, no. Especially after Saturday or Sunday, whatever day my Gators choke. No. Basketball season's over for me now. My bracket's busted. My team is out. I don't even have a team that I like that's left. Like, I don't even – like, I'm probably pulling for Izzo just because it's Izzo and he's a legend. So I'm probably just pulling for Sparty at this point.
Really? You're not watching it. I mean, you're still going to take in some of the games, right? You're not just going to.
Oh yeah. Now, if it's on a 15-game hockey slate, no, it's going to be on the very back burner. But no.
Okay. All right. So you are truly Robbie Hockey. I love it.
When Florida's in it, this is how bad it got. It's my fault Florida lost, by the way. I was watching the game, and anytime I watch that team, they play poorly. So I started doing things around the house, and I thought I'll check back here in a second. Then they started coming back. I forgot to bet the Iowa money line because it's always place money on the other team. That way, if they do what they did, at least I'm going to get paid for it. And I forgot to place my money line bet on Iowa. It's my fault Florida lost.
So, first of all, no, Joe, it wasn't heaven. All right? You need the audio. Trust me. I've met you. You need the audio of me walking you through this. You would not be able to follow it. Miss Kim says, Tiger's playing golf. Did you know that?
Tom Izzo and Tigers playing golf. We're back in the 90s, baby.
At 7 p.m. It's so, you know what? We're going to leave it on this. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Mama
recent
Hockey.
national championships have they won in basketball.
Mama Hockey coming in right on time. I love it.
She doesn't even know who Tennessee plays. I bet you if you stopped her right now and asked her who Tennessee plays next, she wouldn't even know, so she can't talk.
What is she dropping it into?
No, she's just still talking about how me and the boys chomp her all the time. That's Finn's favorite thing to do. He doesn't say hi, Ma. He just goes chomp, chomp.
Well, I love it. You and I, we'll be back here tomorrow breaking down everything that happened tonight on the ice. Can't wait to do that. We got another Light the Lamp. Start doing a little preview into the Sweet 16 games. I know that you're not watching a lot of them now that you don't get to chomp chomp. But maybe we could get a volunteer to walk us through the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
Well, yeah. If you're Rick Barnes, you'll be walking right out because you're not making the Elite Eight with his track record.
See what I did there? A little volunteer.
I saw it. I saw it.
Until then, listen, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit that like button if you would be so kind. It really does help us grow. We will be back here tomorrow. Be nice to one another, and let's cash these tickets. We'll see you then.